doing it. There we go. Welcome to the Gamestore Guardians. I am Will, and this week I am joined by someone we have talked about many times on this podcast, actually, who we affectionately call Staten Island Mike.
Yes.
So,
Long,
yeah.
long time, first time.
Yes. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Mike. I started playing this game back in August when I found the Gamestore Guardians on Reddit. My buddy and I went over to the local store, and you guys were really awesome. A really great community. And what I didn't know at the time was, like, we have a pretty good store, like a high-level store with players that do really well.
Yeah.
So it's really forced all of us to kind of level up our games. I mean, we got a guy in top 8 at Adepticon. Had Art is notorious in the Northeast for what he does.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a great experience the last 6 months getting into the game and leveling up.
Nice. Yeah, when you told us that you found the store through us, I was like, what? We're like 2 episodes in.
Oh yeah. Oh, and I've spent so much money at that store that my wife could never know about.
Oh, me too.
It's so bad.
Me too. Because as of yesterday, I only need 2 more models to own everything.
Wow, really?
Yes, I picked up the Black Order affiliation pack yesterday because I was complaining the other day that it wasn't in stock. And I'm standing there talking to the guys last night after the game, and I look, and there's literally 1 box right next to the Web Warriors pack.
I bought the other one they had too.
Okay, well, I got it now. So now, I haven't put them together yet. They're still wrapped up. I'm probably going to work on that this weekend. But yeah, so. And now I have almost everything. I only need Dormammu and Malekith, and I own everything.
Yeah, I was a little shocked when I looked at the like Cerebro collection and I saw how few check marks I have left to go. And I was like, I definitely don't want to total this number up.
No. Never do that.
Hopefully my son becomes an electrician or a plumber or something one day and the college fund won't be as important.
There you go. So you're not going to worry about it. It's fine. That's future Mike's problem.
Exactly.
But speaking of new purchases, have you had a chance to paint or build or do anything this week?
I did a lot this week. Had to stay home from work because of COVID,
Oh no.
and I decided to treat myself to Malekith because everyone else seems to be playing Malekith and having a lot of fun. So I got Malekith. I painted him up today, a disgustingly bright orange for that tiger. And I love
Nice.
it.
Yes. You know what? I approve.
Yeah, I wanted to go for because I want really bright colors on a lot of my models, and I did that with him. And I also painted up Thanos, so I've just
Okay.
gone into the deep end of the big boys.
Nice.
I want to point out though, I did buy and paint Thanos before Pat won Adepticon. Thanos train gets rolling again with a lot of other people.
Yeah.
I'd squeeze him into every list right now and test them out.
Yeah, he's going to be coming back in a big bad way.
I'll have him there on Tuesday. I can assure
I'm
you.
sure you will. That's fine. when I finally get around to purchasing Malekith, I actually want to paint him like a panther, like a blackish purple, like Skeletor's panther.
I really debated because there's so many. That's the best part of the model is the giant flying tiger.
Mhm.
Like Malekith himself is a really cool model, but that tiger being so massive, it opens up so many different colors you can do with him to get him to be fun. Like, I don't know why anyone would paint him white.
No,
There's so many fun things you can do. I know Rob just got his painted. I think he did like a purple.
I think he might have. Did you see what Professional Casual did?
No.
They did like a Lisa Frank tiger.
Oh yes. Nick actually texted me that exact phrase.
Yes,
At least, yeah.
it's glorious. And then the Tiger King is riding on top of it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I have to go back in the archives and find that.
Yeah. I think there's pictures up on their Facebook or whatever. But
I'll have to check that out.
this week I put together Black Swan and Supergiant, and I started painting Rival Spidey and Black Swan because one, I can't play with unpainted models, and I didn't get Black Swan finished, but I had enough paint on her that I was like, okay, I could put her on the table this week to try her out. And two, I had just gotten my Pro Acryl paints for my birthday, so I was sold. I started with Spider-Man. I'm like, you know what? I want to try the bright colors. So I started with the Pyral red, and then they're just straight up blue, and they're like Spider-Man perfect colors.
I saw that in the Discord.
Yeah.
What's great too about Monument Hobbies is I have a ton of their paints, but they give you the bundle pricing without having to buy a bundle.
Yeah.
If you just buy like 8 or 10 paints, you get like the small discount on each one. But I was actually breaking this down for a student of mine who got into Warhammer, and he was buying the Citadel paints, and I'm like, let me show you Monument Hobbies and
Mm-hmm.
Vallejo. Vallejo's great too.
Yeah.
And I was like, look how much paint you get at Monument Hobbies, and you can just buy all these colors that you specifically want. You don't have to. If you don't need another yellow, then replace the yellow in the bundle with like a cool plum or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of options there, and the coverage, like you said, is great. I've been using them for like 2 months now, and absolutely love it.
Yeah, it was. That's probably the best red I've ever used in my life. Because
Yeah, I saw what you did there, and it looked really, it really. I mean, your painting in general is really strong.
thank you.
Um, did you use them in your airbrush, or you just did regular paint?
No, that was just paint. Regular paint with a brush.
That came out really well. How do you do the lines on Spider-Man?
I haven't even done them yet. I zenithalled it, and I haven't even done them yet. But the way I'm going to do it is, while Art was at Adepticon, I asked him to pick me up the washes and the glaze medium. So I just got that last night. So I'm hoping, because I've watched some videos on how they're saying the black wash is probably the best black wash out there, and just a drop of the glaze medium, and it's almost perfect. So I'm gonna do that over Spider-Man and see how it comes out, because I mean it looked great from the video.
Yeah, I just keep waiting for you to do things and then asking you how you did it. Like, you gave Nick and I the secret tech of paint pink then yellow.
That's right, right?
Like, oh my god, the coverage is so much better after I do pink first.
Yeah, and that yellow is so bright.
Oh yeah, it's great. So all those little tidbits, because you go on Reddit and sometimes you get competing advice, and I'm not really sure which route to go, but I can physically see your models and be like, okay, this worked for Will. I can see it worked for Will. I'm gonna take Will's advice.
And that's almost make me want to rebuy affiliation packs and repaint some of my older models.
Oh, don't tempt me, because I was thinking the same thing about Brotherhood and X-Men.
Those are the two I was thinking too.
I hate like the original paint jobs I did on everyone with Magneto,
Mm-hmm.
but I also want Magneto because now I want to do like the all-white Krakoa Magneto.
Yeah, that's and like I did most of mine in speed paints because I was just getting into painting when I got them. So I kind of want to do them now a year later. I kind of want to redo them and just see what I could do.
I remember when I first met you and you showed me like the paint jobs you did, and you're like, "Oh, these are just speed paints," and I was like, "Oh, let me pick up speed paints." And I didn't really care for them, and I thought the paint jobs you did at that time were so good with the speed paints.
Mm-hmm.
And now, I think last time I saw you at the shop, you had some stuff from last year.
Yeah, I had Red Guardian.
Yeah, and then you like side by side with the stuff you've been doing recently with the airbrush. I was like, whoa, this is night and day difference.
Yeah, I think I put Red Guardian next to like Beta Ray Bill and Psylocke.
Yeah, I mean, and then even without the OSL stuff you've been messing with, just the difference in how you've leveled up in the last like 6 to 8 months that I've known you with painting is crazy.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, I was telling my wife every time I paint something, like maybe I'll put this in the Discord, and then like you or Neil or somebody will post a picture, and I'm like, never mind.
Listen, put it in the Discord.
Neil is a robot. That dude,
Yeah.
how he gets like some of those lines so straight.
That Agent Venom that you put up there, my hands get a little shaky when I do that. His looks like just surgeon.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I don't know what he does for a living, but he's got the steadiest hands of anyone I know.
Yeah, absolutely. Me, I'm just like, usually by the time I'm painting, it's like 10 o'clock at night, so I'm like, all right, let's just get this good.
Well, now I finally have like an overhead lamp to work underneath, and that is
Nice.
a huge difference.
Yeah.
There's giant spots I missed that would not have noticed until the next day.
Yep, that, and I have the, the sexy goggles with the magnifying and the light, so, yeah.
I thought about picking up a pair of those. Do you find them pretty useful?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, because 45 years old, I'm like, I need to see.
Fair enough. Maybe I'll look into a pair of those then.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think they're only like $25 on Amazon. I have, if you see them, I think I have a white pair, and they come with like 5 different lenses that you can change them out. So, yeah, definitely worth picking up. Save your eyes, man.
I mean, I'm so deep into this hobby at this point, so what's like another $25?
Exactly.
Better painting? Exactly, yeah.
Like, as we speak, I have another building printing.
Oh, nice. I'm gonna start reprinting some terrain to do a better job of painting. Although we're gonna get into some conversations soon about terrain.
Yes.
That I'm super excited for.
Yes.
So I may not be printing as much as I thought I would be.
Yeah. So, speaking of announcements, we're going to get there. But I don't know about you, but I participated in Adepticon because I did not go to Adepticon this year. So, did you watch any of the coverage?
I did. I guess the middle game of the top 8 wasn't streamed, or recorded or
Yeah,
something?
the middle game they recorded because that was the same time the AMG panel was happening.
Oh,
So they
okay.
recorded it and they're going to put it up on their YouTube, but they didn't live stream that game. But
Who did they record playing?
I don't even remember. I think it was Rob's game actually.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, Rob.
I'll have to go back and. I mean, Rob lost to what? Alex Potts? Is that his
Yes,
name?
he lost the bots.
Yeah, he lost to a really strong player, so there's no shame there.
Yeah.
I was excited to watch Pat Dunkirk
Hmm.
because I've been getting into Thanos lately, and I wanted to see. Because Thanos is a really when you play tall, it's so easy to lose
Yeah.
because every activation has to count so much. And with Thanos, there's so many different ways to play him. Like, are you going to punch with Thanos, or is he going to be the guy that sets up the rest of your team?
Hmm.
So I wanted to see what he did with him, and then there was that recalibration matrix play
Yeah.
that saved his Thanos, and I was like, okay, this card needs to constantly be in my lineup when I'm playing tall.
Listen, it may
Like
be
I
in
have,
my Weapon X list right now.
yeah, I started using it recently with Brotherhood. You know, if I'm playing Magneto, I want to make sure he stays alive. Sometimes I'd use like key activations.
Hmm.
I want to test that out a little bit more, and like I said, watching him play Thanos against Malekith, which we have several in our local meta. So like you need to be able to survive that gear check. So
Yep.
I wanted what he did with Thanos. So yeah, I was glued to Professional Casual Network as much as I could be this weekend.
Yeah, I was up visiting my parents, but my mom just wanted me to hang out with her. So she's like, "I have my laptop. If you want to watch that, we'll just stay here and you can. I'll be cooking and doing stuff." I'm like, "All right, absolutely fine." So I just sat on my laptop all weekend, and I was talking to my mom, of course, but I was in the
Yeah,
chat.
I
But
saw you in the chat. Yeah, I have a different. I don't use my Discord name in that chat, but I always see you and Jeff. Same thing during LVO.
yeah,
I saw the two of you guys constantly in the chat for both of those. So both times, both major events, my son was sick, so he was like not looking to do anything. So I was watching LVO coverage and Adepticon coverage, respectively, and my son was doing his thing, just
nice.
hanging out, not wanting to run around too much. So good and bad.
Listen,
Bad that he was sick, but good that I could like watch the coverage
true.
and not have a screaming toddler running around.
Listen, I had the entire PCN chat convinced that we were getting a new core box because the artwork behind them had me convinced we were getting
Yeah,
a new core box.
you had me convinced, and then I was so disappointed
Me
when
too.
they announced it, and I was just like,
I was like,
I
"What
was
jerk
so
said
blown up
this?"
that expectation. I was even telling my wife, I was like, I hope they announce a new core box. Will's got me excited for it because like all those models in the original core box could be so much better, but I
Yeah.
think it seems like we're just gonna get a lot of the original characters re-released over time with new cards, new
I
ways to play them.
maybe. I mean, I still think there's a new core box on the horizon. I mean, they did it with X-wing, and I really do think the fact that the crises in the box are completely different. Most of the tactics cards in the core box you can't use, and some of the characters in the core box have been updated, so you have to get the card pack anyway. I really do think there's going to be a new core box on the horizon. Maybe this year, maybe not, because they did say we're jumping ahead a little bit, but they did say in the panel that the stuff that they were showing, I think, other than the Wakanda stuff, a lot of that is early next year.
Yeah,
So they didn't because they have mini extravaganza coming out this summer, so they're going to be saving a lot of the big announcements for that.
yeah. One thing I'll add on to that is a lot of the core box characters have been re-released already with different cards. We
Mhm.
have a new Steve, a new Iron Man, Widow, Ultron is coming, a new Red Skull. So we're like halfway through the core box with new
Yes,
sets of characters. I mean, a second Peter Parker. So like I could see maybe that they don't feel the need to re-release or do new models of those characters. But like you said,
I have a new theory.
go ahead.
All right, I have a new theory. I think we're going to get a new core box with all new characters, and I think it's going to be Fantastic Four.
I mean, all you have to do is say Doctor Doom and I'm in.
Yeah.
Like
Listen, if we don't get Fantastic Four this year, all right, we'll talk about that later. First, the coverage from PCN, Professional Casual Network, was fantastic. I'm actually going up to Bearded Dragon in May for their LVO qualifier, so get to see them there. They do
Were they
such great
one
coverage.
thing?
No, Oniyanta.
Okay.
Yeah, like, so it's 4 hours from where I live now, but I'm going up to my parents' house, and that's 2 hours away. So I'm just gonna go up, stay the night, go over there, and then come back. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to going up there because I'm trying to get into LVO. Either I don't want to have the stress of the last chance
Yeah.
qualifier. I want to just qualify.
Yeah, my wife and I talked about it. Like, I want to try to get to LVO. In our local tournaments, I've been doing really well the last few
Yep.
times out. With Brotherhood, I got top three a couple times now.
Yep.
Taking it real seriously, grinding on TTS. So like, I want to try to win ours, and I want to try to travel to an LVO qualifier to get there next year.
Yes. And
So I need help.
The LVO qualifier we're having, the date moved
Yes.
because of conflicts. So that's actually going to be May 6th at Red Seal Gaming in Mattawa, New Jersey. So anybody listening, want to come out? Information is on the Longshanks. I'll link it in the show notes and stuff for this episode. But let's focus on Adepticon for a second. I now have a new goal of going to Adepticon next year because that just looks like a blast. Like it
Yeah.
looks so good.
Yeah. The only concern I had is I heard a lot of different people talking about how you have to get tickets for all these different events to play MCP there.
Well, I think what it is I mean like if you wanted to play the team tournament and the main tournament, yes, but like I would just there's pickup games you could play too. So like I would just buy the ticket to the main tournament. But this was the largest single MCP tournament so far in the U.S. at 128 people. They had one drop at the last minute, so 127 people. But that's bigger than LVO was because that was the 64-man invitational, and I think at the qualifier, I want to say it was like 96 people somewhere in
I
that
believe
neighborhood.
so. Yeah.
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 So this was huge. Right now, I know ACO is going to have 48 players.
Okay.
So that's where they're topping out at. So if you haven't bought your tickets for ACO yet, Mike,
I'm super disappointed, but that's the same weekend that my son is, well, it's supposed to be his birthday. So,
tell him his birthday's
well,
different.
for reasons we can talk about after the podcast, some things might happen that weekend anyway, but
Plus, it's Father's Day weekend too.
oh, that I'm less concerned about.
Yeah.
That's actually makes it easier to go travel to an event.
Hmm.
This is my Father's Day present, being away from the family.
Exactly. See, my kids are older. I'm like, as long as I'm home for dinner, it's fine.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but yeah. So this was 127 people. It was 4 rounds on day one, and then to the top 8 cut where we had 3 people from Pork Roll Protocol there. We had Art, we had Greg, his brother, and we had Rob Reel. Um, Greg did. I think he won his first 2 and then lost his third game. Art won his first 3 and then lost his last game on the day one. And Rob made it to top 8. So congrats to all of them. All they did great. I hate playing against Rob's list. I was rooting for him, but I hate playing against his list because Sleeper Agent Malekith and Hulk are stupid. But yeah,
Yeah, I've just played against so much Malekith between Rob and Nick the last 6 months that I don't have the same fear of Malekith that maybe other people do.
see, I don't fear him. It's the stupid Sleeper Agent thing that I can't use reactives against him, which makes me
Yeah,
real
we
mad.
did that with Angela last time we played, so I didn't have to deal with it on Hulk or Malekith.
Okay.
We were on 15 researcher, so he was researcher. So he was changing it up to try to Angela instead.
Okay.
But it was just still good. She can still throw every round.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's good tech.
It is. It's very good tech. But yeah, after during the top 8, that's when AMG had their panel. So they started off by showing the cards for Squirrel Girl and Gwenpool.
Yep.
Now, unfortunately, all the cards were super hard to read.
I don't know why they wouldn't just put them up immediately.
Yeah, I was really surprised. I mean, they did put Squirrel Girl's card up now. I don't know if there's a clearer picture of Gwenpool's card, but I do want to cover the cards real quick because I think they're super interesting.
Yeah, I tried to find the Gwenpool one earlier today. I just went back in our Discord to find where you wrote it up. You typed it up for us.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
Reading it, I was like, oh, this is a solid character.
Yeah, I mean, I have her card up here, but let's do Squirrel Girl first so I don't go blind. So I'll start with her stats. Squirrel Girl, Doreen Green. I love the character art. Just looks great.
Yep.
So she's 3 across the board, 6 health, 4 threat because this is the year of 4 threats. Size 2, and she moves medium, and she's on the small base. So
Small bits.
yeah, so yeah, she's average movement, but you're not taking her for her movement. You're taking her for all the other stuff. So, do you want to start with the attacks, or do you have it in front of you or no?
Yeah, I got the card up.
Okay.
All right. Knuckle, Spike, Strike. So that's range 3, 5 dice, 0 power, and that's going to be a builder.
Yep.
And on a wild ambush, after the attack is resolved, place this character within one of the target characters.
Now, the thing with this is it is a must place.
Yeah, Beast has the same thing.
Yeah.
It comes back to bite you when you don't want it to. I'd rather it be either every time or none of the time, so that I could. It makes it hard to plan what you're trying to do with an activation.
I mean, coming from me who's been playing Weapon X since January, I'm used to the must place with Logan.
Yeah, but you know you're going to place with Logan every attack, and you kind of want to. With Squirrel, I don't know if you're always going to want to, and I feel like that must place is going to come up at a point where maybe you don't want that to happen.
Yeah. She definitely has to pick her targets up front.
Yeah, I think you're bringing her. Well, we'll get to it with the rest of the list, but I think
Yeah.
you're bringing her as a tech piece more than likely for specific matchups, maybe.
Yes. All right. Go to the second attack.
Army of Squirrels.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. 4, 6 dice, 2 power, which I love 2 power spenders.
Mm-hmm.
If this attack deals damage, after the attack is resolved, the target character gains the bleed and stun special conditions.
Yep.
Wild push before damage is dealt. If the target character is size 3 or less, this character pushes the target character short.
Yes, which I think is hilarious because New MODOK is a size 3 and like they're arch enemies.
Yeah, I mean, a 2 power spender is always good. I mean, it's another no matter the cost target.
Mm-hmm.
If you're running that card already, which I assume you are because you're a Weapon X player.
That card comes in and out of my list. Like I always put it out there and then I'm like, I never wind up using it.
I mean, for 2 power though, that you get to guarantee place a bleed and a stun.
Yeah.
And you're range 4. I mean, that sounds good, right? Because people bring like characters like Pyro and
Mm-hmm.
spend power to put, I mean, better conditions, but to play stun on a character is really powerful.
Yeah, and I mean it does have to do damage to get those effects, but yeah. And because it's named Army of Squirrels, I do have a bunch of squirrel files that I'm looking to print. I do have a file with a squirrel with a pair of nunchucks, so that's gonna be fun.
Oh, that's awesome. I want to see. You're gonna see some people have put like Alvin and Chipmunks on the bases. I think you're gonna get some interesting creative stuff.
I'm gonna have a whole forest on my base. It's gonna be a little diorama unto itself.
Well, you inspired me to start decorating my bases a little bit better because most of mine are just painted like a neutral gray, and then there's a handful of others. I'm like, all right, let's get the flock out, let's get some tree branches, and try to clean this up a little style a little bit.
Yeah, I started doing that recently. I'm looking to do that with Ulik and stuff too. So, all right, back to the card though. I'll start with the superpowers.
Sure.
So,
You get the fun one.
yeah, Tippy Toe Takedown. It is Power X. So this character may spend any amount of power to use the superpower. Choose an enemy character within 3 of this character with a threat value equal to or lower than the amount of power spent to use this superpower. Move the Tippy Toe token to that character. While the character has the Tippy Toe token, it does not add crit results in its attack, defense, or dodge rolls to its total successes, and cannot add dice to its attack, defense, or dodge rolls as a result of crits.
I mean, pretty good superpower. It feels a little bit like Marked for Death in a way.
Mm-hmm.
That you're probably going to use this on a turn where you're trying to eliminate a character.
Yes.
I don't know how often people might use this to neuter an enemy character. Like, I looked at this and immediately thought, okay, I'm going to create a ceiling for your character on defense,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to try to maximize my offense this round.
Yeah.
I don't know how you viewed it.
I viewed it as, I mean, the obvious one is you get 7 power, you throw it on Malekith. You get 7 power, you throw it on Immortal Hulk. So you're curbing their offense. But more frequently than that, if you have an X-23 out there that's going to cause problems, she's only a 3 threat. You get 3 power, you toss it on her, and she's effectively neutered because that's hard.
Yeah, I don't view this as going to be great against Immortal Hulk or Malekith because she's squishy, and then getting the power isn't always going to be the easiest.
I see that, but you got to remember, Malekith, he can pay skulls to crits. So this shuts that off.
Yeah, I mean, if Malekith flips her,
Well, yeah, but
depending on
I'm not saying attack Squirrel Girl or attack Malekith Squirrel Girl. I'm just saying get her within 3, throw it on, and run away.
Well, what I'm saying is if she gets within 3 of Malekith to get to that 7 power, I'm thinking it's because she's gotten flipped by Malekith.
Yeah, it's possible.
I don't think she's getting a 7 power easily on her own with her 5 die builder.
There
But
is another way, but we'll talk about it when she flips, or when we get to the back of the card.
okay,
It's because I had an idea, just some bullshit crazy idea. All right, the next one, Tippy come back. It costs nothing. When this character is targeted by an attack and may use a superpower, move the Tippy Toe token back to this character from anywhere. So Tippy Toe is very much like Brother Daniel.
yep. Oh
But
well, why would you want to bring the Slippy token, the Tippy token, back to the character?
that's what we're going to get to because she
All right.
speaks Coralese. So this character begins the game with a Tippy Toe token. While this character has the Tippy Toe token, it may reroll up to 2 dice when making an attack, defense, or dodge roll. During the power phase, you may move the token from anywhere to this character. Whenever a character is dazed or KO'd while it has the Tippy Toe token, move the Tippy Toe token to this character. This character cannot have a Tippy Toe token except the one it begins the game with. When this character is removed from the battlefield, remove its Tippy Toe token from the game. Additionally, when this character is dazed, move the Tippy Toe token to this character from anywhere.
So, one thing I guess I didn't catch earlier when I was talking about how she gets power is I guess if she's able to reroll two dice in every one of her attacks, that will help her get power.
Yes.
That that could change things.
Yeah.
But I still like your original pros, which is that I throw this on X23 or Logan to cap them and neuter them.
Mm-hmm.
But well, I guess we'll see what happens with those rerolls because that might be enough then to start using that on a Malekith or an Immortal Hulk.
Yeah. And the nice thing is, unlike Daniel, if she gets dazed, it comes back automatically. So some people are theorizing that if when we get the new card pack that's going to have the updated crisis cards and all that stuff in it, if they're going to do some new cards to put everybody sideways, this may be a little bit of text that gets added to Dr. Voodoo.
Oh, please do. We were talking about this the other day in the Discord where I was talking about Squirgle and Dr. Voodoo and that they are like an enemy of fun.
Mm-hmm.
For the person playing against them in some ways, like to neuter someone's crits or to prevent someone from being able to play VPs. I don't know if it's too powerful or not. It probably is not too powerful on Squirrel Girl, but God, does that feel so bad when you're playing against Voodoo. So I think something like that would be really, really helpful to making him less painful to deal with.
Yes, absolutely. And then her final power on the front side is Wall Crawler. So, obviously. Now, on the back, she does drop 1 stamina, so she goes from 6 to 5. She still has Tippy Toe Takedown. This one here, Squirrelies is still on the back. But Guardian Squirrel, so Tippy Toe comes back when she's dazed, so now Tippy Toe's back with her. Guardian Squirrel, in 8. When this character would be KO'd by an enemy effect, if it has the Tippy Toe token, remove the token from the game. This character removes 1 damage, is not KO'd, may be placed within 2 of its current position. Then this character cannot have a Tippy Toe token for the rest of the game. So, it's last minute save on Squirrel Girl. Lockjaw's last minute save.
Yeah, I mean that could definitely be relevant in a scenario game, or you imagine she's getting KO'd, she's getting powered up, so maybe she's able to launch 2 spenders the following turn.
Mm-hmm. Also, she has 5 back here, but if you work it right, this is 7 health. How is it 7 health? I'll tell you. So,
Okay, I was like, I
listen.
guess the snake's pretty easy.
Nope. All right, so Guardian Squirrel, Tippy Toe's gone.
Uh-huh.
If you have Lockjaw on last minute save,
Oh.
she's back.
You know what? I would love it if you want to play Lockjaw and Squirrel Girl in a list together. Will please? I will gladly let you play them together.
Listen, Squirrel Girl might be in Weapon X, just saying. Just saying.
I'd be curious how you're gonna fit her in there, but I don't know what she does for them. But she.
We are absolutely going to talk about my list later because I got so many 4s. I got things to do with that, but yeah. We'll talk about that in a minute because we still have to get to Gwenpool. But overall, I really like Squirrel Girl.
So, jumping ahead just a quick sec, because Gwenpool's also a 4th threat, right?
Yes.
And we got MODOK at 4. What is the deal with? I know this is like coming up everywhere on Discord and all the various chats, but they're going so hard on fours, and we haven't been seeing many threes, right? When's the last time we got a three?
Pyro and Blob.
Oh yeah, those are both really good. All right, that's a bad
Yeah.
example.
It
It feels like a lifetime ago.
really does, honestly. They came out in November, then we had the Weapon Xbox, and then it's just been all fours all the time, except for Ulik, who's a five.
Yeah, I mean he's good. Great five, great set of fours we've been getting. It's just we're getting so much in that same space. It's like it's hard to give them attention. Like Psylocke came out and she looks really cool, and everyone's like she looks really cool. I'm gonna keep playing Logan and Apex and this and that. Although I know you've been playing Psylocke.
Oh, yeah, and I love her in Weapon X.
I plan on putting her on the table in the next week.
Listen, much
I
like Dizzard is like the X Force Messiah, I'm on my way to becoming the Weapon X Messiah.
I like that. And when I first met you, you had two different lists every single week. I know you were trying to be the Winter Guard guy for like a minute, and then
Yeah.
realized that wasn't going to work out.
No.
But you've been all about the Weapon X, and they're just fun. It's fun playing against them too.
Yeah.
Rolling dice. They're not. Nothing they do is like particularly like busted or dumb.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not like a Voodoo or a Thanos or Malekith. They're all good models, but none of them feel like. It doesn't feel like you're cheating.
No. And I
And
brought two. I always bring two lists because I like to bring like a not Weapon X list in case I'm playing someone relatively new.
yeah.
But yeah, like yesterday, I brought Guardians because I have not used my Agent Venom yet, so I brought Guardians with Bill and Venom and Angela and all that stuff, and I just want to play 2 games of Weapon X because I was testing out Black Swan, which we'll talk about in a minute. But all right, so Gwenpool. First of all, I absolutely adore her character art. Like it's so good on the front and the back side.
I have no frame. I'm a big Marvel and DC comic reader for years and years and years. Although in the last year or so, Amazon nearly killed my love of comics with the way they ruined comicsology.
Yeah,
That's a separate discussion.
yeah, it is. I do have Marvel
So
Unlimited though.
I'm debating jumping in,
Do it.
but I have no frame of reference for Gwenpool at all.
Okay.
I am probably like a lot of people. I just assumed it was some sort of amalgamation of Deadpool and Gwen Stacy, and I've been proven very wrong on that.
Yes.
The last week, everyone has been very ready to jump and start every podcast by saying, "This is not Gwen Stacy. This is not Deadpool."
Yep.
And what I've heard about the character sounds really interesting. So,
Yes. So, for anybody who doesn't know, I'm going to do the same thing the other podcast have done. So, Gwenpool started in a month where Deadpool was having alternate comic covers that were all Gwen. Or no, when Gwen Stacy was on all the other comic covers in other people's costumes. So, Deadpool's Secret Wars was Gwen Stacy in a Deadpool costume in a pool. What happened was cosplayers locked onto it and started just making costumes. So Marvel's like, hey, we got something here. But the thing is, Sony owns the Gwen Stacy rights, and Fox at the time owned the Deadpool rights. So we want a new character that doesn't have ties to either one of those characters. So her name is actually Gwendolyn Poole, and she's British. And the superhero Taylor mistook her name to be related to Deadpool. So she is a character from the real world, like our world, that has insane comic book knowledge that gets sucked into the comic book world. So she's like ultra fourth wall breaking. So that is the Gwenpool history in a nutshell.
I'm gonna go back at some point and check her out because with the exception of Ulik, I've had a good frame of reference for every other character in this game. So Ulik, Gwenpool, and Squirrel are some characters I'm gonna have to go back into the archive and check out.
Yeah, I'm actually reading the Unbeatable Squirrel Girl right now. The comic book is hilarious.
Nick, he's big on that. He told me I should be checking that out.
Yeah, it's definitely funny. But so Gwenpool, real name Gwendolyn Poole with an E. 434 stat line, which is she's a tanky girl.
Yeah, I'm definitely more impressed by Gwenpool as we go through this card.
Yes.
I like a lot of what it says.
Those are some Ulik stats right there. Just as a frame of reference. She has 6 health, I believe, on both sides, where Ulik has 7 health, so she's 1 less health. 4 threat, size 2, medium on a small base. So, average movement still. But
yeah, I mean, while you're on the topic of talking about, I know you want to go in a specific order here, but at the end of her card, she has damage reduction, right?
yes, she does.
Yeah, I feel like that's relevant to what you're saying right now. I mean, there's nothing better. Very few things in this game I think are better than damage reduction.
Yeah.
And when you're saying she's 6'6" with 434 and DR,
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
Yeah. Like Squirrel Girl is going to be fun. Gwenpool is going to be a menace.
Now, where would we expect to see her in terms of affiliations? 'Cause like I said, I don't know where she'd be or where she fits into.
I know she was part of the Great Lakes Avengers, along with
Okay.
Squirrel Girl. Um, I think there's a case to be made that she could be an Avenger, but I honestly don't know if they're going to have any more people in Avengers unless they're going to start a splinter group of the Great Lakes Avengers, which they could just to limit who's going where. Um, I know Squirrel Girl and I think Gwenpool were part of the Champions, who was not a an affiliation yet, but Miles is in that. Miss Marvel was in that. So like they're starting to build that they could do that. Hell, one of their tactics card could be a leadership card. We don't know yet. Um, I mean, we'll get to where we think we could put her, but yeah, I think those off the top of my head is where she might be affiliated. I know in her comic, since she can rewrite stuff, she made herself an X-Man at one point.
Okay.
So maybe she. Here's what I really want her to have, though. I want her to have a tactics card that is like super rogue agent, that she's just affiliated wherever and
Uh,
gets all the bonuses.
that would be that would be cool and unique. That would make her really good.
Yeah,
'Cause as we go through the card, she's pretty solid. And if she's got like super rogue agent, then yeah, I could see that her being played a lot.
yeah. Considering she can rewrite whatever she wants and she has all kinds of comic book knowledge, why not? Like it would be something cool and unique for her. I mean, it would be a card that's staple to her, and you bet your ass that's probably going to take a team tactics slot. Like they're not going to give her that card for free.
Yeah, I love powerful team tactics cards. I'm totally
Yeah,
for individual characters. I think that's like one of the best things they can do in a game to make characters stand out.
yeah. All right. So her attacks. So I'll do the attacks this time, and you can do the superpowers.
Sure.
So first attack, stabby swords, range 2, 5 damage for no power. After the attack's resolved, gains power equal to the damage dealt, and she has a wild pierce.
Always solid.
Yes, already solid. And I mean, it's X-23's builder
Yep.
basically. Next attack, also free to use, and it's a range 4 and 4 damage. Gwenpool's Bag of Tricks. After the attack is resolved, this character gains 1 power. And now the card I'm looking at is blurry. I think it's a hit in a wild or 2 wilds. I can't really tell. You get the Gwenpool special. After the attack is resolved, the defending character gains one of the following special conditions: bleed, shock, incinerate, or poison. Very good.
I mean, being able to hand out shock or incinerate is always useful.
Yep. And both of those are physical attacks. I don't know if I said that. Because her next
Uh,
attack is
yeah.
energy. This end towards target, which is, I love it. Range 4, strength of 8, 4 power. So it's a little bit of an expensive spender, but there's reasons. After this attack is resolved, the target character gains incinerate and stun special conditions. And on a wild, you get scorched earth. Before damage is dealt, all other characters within 2 of the target character suffer 1 damage and get the incinerate special condition.
That's really good.
It's Bob's rocket without getting thrown, and it's 1 less damage if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, giving out incinerate is just
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
If you're playing her on like gamma researcher type situation,
Yep.
that sounds really useful.
Yeah. Whenever people are clustered, that's where we're going.
Yeah.
The only caveat is it's all other characters, not all enemy characters. So that is the one downside to it. But
Wow, I'm jumping ahead already to the superpowers, and I'm like, wow, this character's really good.
yeah,
That's crazy. I did not read the card before this, so this is all new to me.
gotcha.
I wasn't interested in her, and then they didn't put up a clear picture. But
I think we'll probably get that tomorrow or Friday. We'll probably get her card. We still haven't
Wow.
gotten Modoc's Team Tactics cards.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they don't let him use his other tactics cards. I don't need John showing up with glasses. That's gonna be a problem.
True. All right, so you can handle the superpowers.
Yeah, Travel through gutter space active superpower. Costs 2 power. If this character is not holding an objective, place it within range 3 of its current position. This can only be used once per turn.
Yep.
Wow, that is really good. Um, Maybe she becomes another character that you might want to advance R&D or Wong or something like that. At the start of a round one to get her going.
Mm-hmm. And,
I could see that being really strong.
and I do like that she can't be holding an objective token. This way, it's not like a runaway tactic.
Yeah, they seem to be really good about that.
Yeah.
Especially with the prices changes to make sure that play pattern isn't there so much anymore.
True.
Retcon powers activate. Reactive superpower. Power X. While this character is attacking or defending during the modified dice step of the attack, it may spend up to 3 power to use the superpower. For each 1 power spent, this character may re-roll one of its attack or defense dice. The superpower can be used once per turn.
Re-rolls.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen this superpower before. It's always good.
Yep. I mean, Psylocke has she doesn't have the cap on the rerolls, but MODOK has the rerolls that are 3 rerolls. She's just gonna be consistent.
Yeah, and that's a huge part of this game, is trying to reduce the luck of the dice if you
Yes.
best you can. Plot armor innate superpower. When this character would suffer damage, this has been discussed before.
Yeah. Shit.
Damage reduction.
Yep. So she is a tanky girl.
Yeah, and she's a good 4.
Yeah.
You might see her splashed. I don't know if she's better than some of the other splashes you can hit, but I think she's just competing with them.
I think she's gonna be great in Weapon X.
Yeah, she's going to be really competitive for 4 spots in a lot of places.
Yes.
People that want to. The fact that she can be mobile, I mean, a 4 that's mobile and does damage is a valuable thing in this game.
And one thing I'm realizing, especially just with the amount of tweaking I've been doing, a character that is a self-sufficient splash is invaluable. So I mean, for example, obviously Weapon X, Psylocke, self-sufficient. She does her own rerolls. She can do all her stuff. She has to do her attacks to get power, but so does everybody else. But she doesn't need the leadership. Gwenpool doesn't need the leadership. She could do her own thing. Now, if you were to put Gwenpool in an affiliation like A-Force, where if somebody gets damaged, you shuffle power around everywhere, she's going to be a menace. If you put her somewhere in OG Red Skull Cabal or even Hydra, where she can get that power, she's going to be all over the place.
I mean, she's got a Pierce on her builder,
Mm-hmm.
and she has a gainer, so I think she's going to be able to get power fairly easily.
Yeah.
So I think she's going to be a really strong character.
You can use the place to get into position, and then you have a good chance of deleting a character depending on who you point her at.
I mean, I was thinking her in X-Force, where you can cat and mouse Betsy.
Yep.
Maybe advanced R&D or Wong a power over to her, and now you've got 2 4 threats that are up the field at the start. I mean, that sounds really useful.
Yeah, and let's not forget the X-Force much maligned leadership that's actually not bad is you get a reroll there too.
Yeah, I don't hate the X-Force leadership as much as other people do.
Yeah.
I think it's solid.
Stick a Zemo next to her, more rerolls.
Yeah, and I remember her sculpt being pretty cool.
Yes.
So I think she's because she's a cool character and a good card. I think you're gonna see her a bunch early on.
I think you're definitely going to see her more than you should, because I'm guilty of it. I got new shiny syndrome, where I got a new character. All right, let me paint him up, put him somewhere, and see what happens.
Some people, it's easy to forget because you and I are degenerates and we buy lots of toys.
Yes.
But some people didn't want to spend $100 on the bunker, and I think if you didn't want to spend $100 on the bunker, which came with 2 characters that were great for splashing.
Mm-hmm.
That you could get a cheaper box right now and have a 4 threat that's comparable to Logan. Whether she's better or worse, I don't know. She could be just as good, if not better than Logan, potentially.
Yeah.
She probably, doesn't have the healing factor, doesn't have the immunity to stun, and some of the other bells and whistles that Logan has. But if you didn't want to spend $100, I think if you buy her, you have a good 4 threat you can splash. So I think that has a lot of value for people.
When you said that about no healing or whatever. I just had a thought. What if she has like a tactics card that's like an exceptional healing for her?
Yeah, I mean, I healing factor isn't better than damage reduction in any scenario, except for you have exceptional healing.
Yeah.
I would rather have the damage reduction up front than the healing factor,
Mm,
except for the fact that exceptional healing is so good.
yeah.
Like DR is great.
And as far as we could tell, nothing changes on the backside. Because her back of her card is partially covered, but it looks like it has the
Yeah.
same text near the bottom. So it looks like nothing changes on her back. So yeah, overall, she's one health and one threat less than Ulik, but has all the same base stats. And she has probably as much damage output. Like yeah, she can't auto activate you if you hit that Yahtzee, but like she can pump out some damage.
And she is April or May?
She is May because
Okay.
April is Hulk and Modoc.
Okay.
And chances are there's another box coming out in May. We have no information on it yet. Because I'm pretty sure, unless. Well, you know what? Let's just talk about the Adepticon reveal since we started talking about this. So, after they revealed the cards, they said they're going to revisit one of the original factions that hasn't been touched in a very long time, Wakanda.
I think the second they said that, I think everyone knew, oh, Wakanda.
Yeah.
Because we've all been saying, like, where is more Wakanda characters? Because Wakanda is good. Wakanda's really good in this game. They just need more models.
Yeah.
Like,
And.
Wakanda Forever with more good models?
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah, it's gonna be
and
it's gonna be great.
my only question is Claw going to be in Wakanda, or are we going to see him?
No, I don't think. I mean, I'd be shocked if he's going to be in Wakanda, but he's probably going to be in Cabal because, like, for as long as I remember Claw, he's worked like alongside Red Skull and stuff. But it
Yeah, I
looks
can
like,
see him being Criminal Syndicate as well.
yeah, I think I could see that too.
He's definitely Cabal. I mean, the MCU version is very much like a Criminal Syndicate type of character.
Yes.
I don't. That's not really the vibe I've gotten from him, like as a comic reader over the years.
Mm-mm.
But I could be, I could see them doing an amalgamation of MCU and comics.
Yeah, just like the M'Baku, because from what I understand, this is the first character for Crisis Protocol that they've worked directly with Marvel Comics and Marvel Studios to basically re envision a new version of M'Baku that treads that line between comic and MCU. So this is going to be the definitive version of what M'Baku is going to look like going forward.
Oh, that's really cool to hear.
Yeah.
I've read about 30, 40 Black Panther comics from the 90s, like the Christopher Priest run, which was, I recommend that to people.
Yeah.
I don't remember M'Baku at all, but there was a bunch of other characters I was expecting to see here alongside him. But just getting another model, whether he's a 3 or 4 threat, just to help fill that affiliation out a little bit and give you some more options,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be great. Because right now, I feel like most Wakanda players are playing Wakanda and something else.
Yes.
So if they can get 1 or 2 more models in that affiliation, I think that could be dynamite.
Absolutely. I do want to see. I'm trying to find the pictures from Saturday, but you know things have gone wild. Okay, here we go because I can't
Yeah,
remember everything. So,
I got a little open on Nike bits.
all right, cool.
Since we're on Wakanda, though, we should
Yes,
just mention the Wakanda terrain.
yes.
Looks incredible. And I was debating buying. I just got a Muse on Mini. I got their snow mat,
Mm-hmm.
and I love it. And now I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to buy the grassland mat and get some of that Wakanda terrain.
Yep, I just
That,
got the city map from Muse on Minis.
yeah, I got it in the mail the other day, and I'm so excited to put it on the table on Tuesday. So, and this Wakanda terrain looks absolutely amazing.
Looks sick, and it's
Yeah,
actually going to have gameplay mods that are optional for like casual play. Um, that they said it might affect threat value, could affect power value because you're going to be getting the statues. You got a nice little Wakanda waterfall, some Wakanda streetlights, a vibranium hauler that the door opens in the back and has like vibranium inside, and like some nice trees. Um, so yeah,
yeah, a lot
that's
of quality stuff.
that's one thing I'm starting to do since I run the tournaments at Red Seal. I want to move more towards themed tables. I don't want every table to just be a city.
Yep, that's exactly why I moved away from. I have a ton of city terrain.
Hmm.
I have a really good city mat, but I've just been bringing my snow mat and all my snow terrain for a while now,
Yeah,
just to change it up. And then of course you also went that route, so I was trying to be unique, and then you undercut me on that.
Sorry, man.
Yeah,
But
that's great.
like I have to buy updated mats because I do want to buy new mats with the new markings because like yeah I marked the other ones and they're close but like I'd rather have it all look uniform. But but yeah I want to try to vary some stuff up. But while we're on the Wakanda train and while we were talking about the rivals panel before, there is going to be
Oh
a
right.
Black Panther versus Killmonger rivals panel at Warriors Falls, which looks gorgeous.
Oh man, that Killmonger looks crazy good.
Yeah, I am so excited for that Killmonger because on the Vibranium Heist Ultimate Encounter, that's the art on the card. Is that Killmonger? So like people
Yeah,
are like, when are we getting that model?
my only concern is the waterfall. I wonder if this is gonna be like terrain that's like in the air. It looks like there's something holding it up in the
It
picture.
looks like there's something holding it up. I have a feeling it's going to be able to be there, but I'm pretty sure you're not going to be able to throw an entire waterfall at somebody.
Yeah,
So it's probably going to be like a Quinjet situation where you can go on top of it, you can't go under it, and you can fight up there, but it's just there.
yeah, because some of their terrain is a little poorly thought out or not clear on what you're supposed to do, like the Quinjet,
Hmm.
or even like the Weapon X bunker. Rob and I in our last tournament game, we weren't sure on whether or not you could go like into the bunker. If the bunker is that technically advancing on top of it, climbing, and then we just didn't want to bother you, so
All
we
right.
just did a house rules on it.
All right. The way we treat it, or the way I treat it normally, if anybody asks, if you're on the lower level, it is even with the ground, but you get cover from the
Okay.
sides. If you're going on top, then it's that size 5, so you got to climb up.
Yeah, okay, so that makes sense. We did a house rule of like it's all climbing, so I could not do nothing stops the juggernaut into it to get onto the token.
I got you. Yeah, no.
But it,
For future reference, base level is base level.
well, you know what? It worked out because at that moment when I was desperate to find something to do, I realized my juggernaut flipped and I could use that 3 power to just chuck his Angela off the point
Nice,
and get my secure that way. Anyway, so it was
nice.
all good.
And you know what? We
It'll
actually,
happen next time.
I realized we jumped ahead because before they got to Wakanda, we had to talk about this new Ultron.
Oh, so cool.
This is what
I
had me convinced
love
there was a new core box coming because Ultron had a cape.
Yeah, everyone I talk to hates grunts, but I love them. I think they're so cool in this game.
Yeah.
Like, I think they're usually, well, Red Skull's grunts are broken, but grunts in general are cool because it's such a big part of comics and video games related to these characters. Like you beat up grunts, and
Yeah.
Ultron especially. I mean, if there's any character in this game I associate with having lackeys,
Mm-hmm.
it's Ultron and MODOK, and
Yeah.
we missed it with MODOK, but they're making up for it with a really cool set of grunts for Ultron. And there's four. Is it four or five?
5. There's 5. There's 4 that are there, and then one like looks like he like has fallen.
And that's awesome. Like we're not sticking with the three imagery that we've been doing. We're changing it up this time, and I like that.
All right. So they said he's going to be a bigger, badder, so he's going to be a higher threat. He's probably going to be a 6 or a 7 threat.
It's fine by me because I think this is controversial. I think we need more 6 and 7 threats in this game. I
Yeah.
might be the only one saying that just so that we see less of one of those 6 and 7 threats in Hulk and Malekith.
Mm-hmm. No,
If
I
everyone's
think
gonna bring a big boy, at least let's have different big boys we can bring.
we're going to have coming up. I think there's going to be a 6 or 7 threat. But what do you think the Ultron grunts are going to do?
Uh, I I feel like because we have time has passed since Shadowlands Daredevil, time has passed since Nick Fury, that they're gonna get more clever with these. I could see them not maybe securing or picking anything up, and maybe they're just there for damage,
Uh huh.
like in like a Nebula style, like they punch really hard, but they don't bring anything else to the table. Maybe.
I think it's going to be a combination of that. I think they're going to be fast. I think they're going to be long moving. I don't know why. I get that feeling. But I think it's going to be a combination of they don't interact with objectives at all. They just attack, but they may have like a honey bite or ankle biter type thing because they're swarming you.
It would be cool. I want to see something different than what the other grunts do.
Yeah, I think
So
this is a fun
I
space they could explore.
yeah, I would love to see an Ultron come in that just tears things apart, and the grunts play a part in that. I mean, a 6 or even a 5 threat Ultron that has grunts,
Mm-hmm.
He probably would be 6 threaded if the grunts are going to be as good as we're making up at this moment
Yeah.
with theory crafting. But I think that would be pretty cool to have like 4 attacks around coming from this really powerful set of grunts and an Ultron.
Yeah.
And the art, like that sculpt looks sick.
Yeah.
Grunts look amazing, and then Ultron himself looks amazing.
Listen, I am so looking forward to painting Ultron again because, like, when I did the core box Ultron, I literally just like metallic primed him and then like black lined him.
Yeah, mine's pretty bad. I've never put him on the table, and I never will, especially knowing that like much cooler Ultron is coming.
Yeah, he's gonna be great. Let me skip
Speaking of
ahead.
cooler things,
Yes. Well, wait, we're not yet. We got another guy first. Not yet. We got more spacey stuff to do. Frank Castle, Cosmic Ghost Rider.
oh, that's what I was getting at. Yeah, this is cooler Ghost Rider.
Oh, I thought you were. I thought you were going later on.
Oh no, this Ghost Rider looks awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about this particular run. I've heard people saying like he's going to be a Guardian of the Galaxy.
Yes, and he was a Herald of Galactus.
Okay, that could be relevant later
Yeah.
if we get Fantastic Four or something like that down the line.
Like, I don't know much about the Cosmic Ghost Rider run, but he does look dope as hell.
Oh yeah, they did a great job with that paint job. Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't wait to try to make shit glow and probably not have it look as good.
I mean, the OSL you did on Bill and Psylocke looks pretty good, so I have faith that you're going to be able to make
I
it.
appreciate that. Well, by the time he comes out, maybe my skills will have improved. My next OSL target is Supergiant. So
Okay.
we'll see how that turns out. But yeah, and it's Frank Castle, so you could, in theory, have Ghost Rider and Ghost Rider.
I didn't consider that, but that would be interesting. I feel like this is a prime like 4 threat, 5 threat that we'll end up seeing from this Ghost Rider here.
Yeah.
To take that down. He's not going to be anything too crazy. Will probably be like a good solid 4 or 5, I would think.
I love the way the chain looks on this compared to the original Ghost Rider.
Yeah, I mean AMG's models are so much better than Year One. Like, I can't think of the last. Well, actually, I think the Weapon X Pack models are just okay. A lot of the models they've been putting out lately, though, I think are just crazy good.
You know they're great. Don't be mad.
I mean, I like them.
I know.
Compared to Psylocke, Bill, Emma.
Psylocke's model is pretty great.
I love Psylocke. I
Yeah.
love that model so much.
All right.
But yeah, so that was Ghost Rider. We did Wakanda. We jumped ahead to them.
Yes, but now now these are all early next year. They're talking like end of this year, early next year.
We're going to be talking about them for months. Like everyone's going to be talking about what's going to happen when we see the X-Men miniatures come in.
Listen, Nightcrawler was announced first, and I got so happy.
Me too. I would have been so ecstatic with just the Nightcrawler Bishop stuff.
Yeah.
But
I
they kept coming.
Can we talk about the pairing real quick? Because I'm shocked. Like, I thought for sure. First of all, I thought you were going to have Iceman and Angel. I thought that was going to be the 2-pack.
Yes, we finish out the original X-Men.
Yes. And then I'm like, okay, they're putting Nightcrawler with Bishop, which, I mean, I'm familiar with Bishop from, like, the 90s run. I don't know much about him now because I'm just getting back into comics. So, of course, I am putting Bishop with his mullet. Because why wouldn't I? Now,
I'm hearing like X-Force for both of those guys potentially.
yeah, and X-Men, of course.
Yeah, we're getting so many X-Men though. I wonder if we're gonna see X-Factor.
Oh, that's why I wanted Angel
Or Excalibur maybe, because like I think of Excalibur with Kurt
and Kitty. I was thinking Marauders because then you could have Kurt, Kitty, and Pyro.
Okay.
So
They're gonna have to do something to start breaking up X-Men and Avengers, and potentially Brotherhood, where obviously there's so many like you're gonna put all the characters in X-Men, but it becomes a problem where new characters come out, and how do you play them? How do you put them on the table when you have 12, 13 great models already? So by creating more affiliations, it's gonna give us opportunities to put those models on the table and not feel like I'm forcing it, you know?
Listen, up the roster to 15. Easy peasy.
That would probably break the game, but that's a different conversation. But yeah, I think I'm excited for Kurt because he teleports.
Yep.
And I really hope he can teleport other characters,
like
just himself.
Like, could he replace Lockjaw?
That's I have no love for Inhumans as you know, I'm all about mutants. I've been playing Brotherhood nonstop for 6 or 7 months. So if I can put an X-Man character in a lineup to teleport Magneto around, I would love that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't buy the dog. I haven't done it yet. I don't think I will.
And then Bishop, I think he's gonna have something similar to Red Guardian, where like if an energy attack doesn't kill him, he gets extra power. Maybe he gets extra damage dice because
Yeah,
he can redirect.
maybe he'll be the Colossus that we wanted. A guy that could bodyguard and do like a Comrade's Keeper, Heroes for Hire type of thing. I think that would be really cool in X-Men.
Maybe.
Because they don't have a character that can do that. I mean, they do, but not really. I would like to see Bishop kind of maybe take that role on.
Yeah. And then they also revealed Iceman and Kitty Pryde.
Oh, these sculpts. The
Looks
Iceman
so
one
good.
in particular is crazy. It's
Yeah.
exactly what we all expected it to be, and it
Yep.
still looks amazing.
Yeah. Like
Oh, so much blue.
it's so much blue, so much white. It's gonna be fun. He's actually probably I'm probably gonna airbrush him. Like he's screaming just to be airbrushed and dry brushed.
Yeah, he should be easy to paint.
Yeah.
He's gonna be all about the washes and the dry brushing afterwards to get the details to pop.
I might just prime him blue, dry brush him white, do some airbrush, and get some shading on there, and he might be good. But then Kitty Pryde phasing through the Sentinel hand, which I kind of like the theme on most of the X Men, is like they have a Sentinel part on the base somewhere.
Yeah, they've been really consistent with that. And the
Yeah.
fact that she knows Lockheed,
Yes.
really cool. I mean, it's classic Kitty Pryde.
Yep.
I have no idea what she's gonna do on the table though.
Immune to collisions.
Yeah, I think that's an obvious one. Um,
Vision
I-
has a phase thing, doesn't it? Yeah. So maybe
yeah,
she can phase through attacks if you spend a power or two. Oh my god,
yeah,
that would be ridiculous if like you can shoot her and she just phases through the attack and takes no damage.
yeah. I really like most characters. I can look at them and come up with an idea of what they might play like. Kitty, I really don't know, and I cannot wait to find out.
Maybe she touches the side of your head and you go back in time. Who knows? They never explained how she got that power in the movie.
Oh, it was the original comic run, right? They sent her back in time.
No, yeah, but no, in the movie Days of Future Past when she like sends Logan back in time and she keeps resetting people.
Okay, I forgot everything about that movie. I have not seen it since it came out.
Well, it's okay.
And then, can we agree the next one is the best sculpt of them all?
Oh my god, absolutely. Shadow
Right.
King?
Yes.
Like first of all, before we even get to the ethereal part of him, I'm so happy he has the fez and a cane.
Yes. Absolutely. I wonder where he's gonna, like, what affiliations. Like, he will probably be Cabal because that's just a catch-all
I
for
would say
right now.
Cabal or maybe Criminal Syndicate.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people throwing out Criminal Syndicate. I know some people have also been saying because of Emma being in Brotherhood that we could see Brotherhood just be like the default like bad guy,
Yeah.
which I definitely won't complain about that as a Brotherhood player. But
Like
we may need to see a new affiliation that kind of is a catch-all for like why we need a place for Sinister and Omega Red to team up,
yeah.
and maybe Shadow King. So maybe we can get like
This does
bad
just
guy.
look like such a crazy sculpt.
Yeah, that's one that even if he's bad, I'm gonna buy to paint.
Yeah.
Like, and I can't imagine he's bad. He's got to be cool at least.
Yeah, he's gonna be at least 5 threat.
Yeah,
Like
him and Xavier, I think, are both going to be probably serious pieces to be put on the board.
yeah, now speaking of Xavier, Magneto's what, 6 threat?
Yeah,
Xavier's gotta be 6 or 7.
and the fact that Xavier has the hover chair, I mean,
Hell yeah.
that was awesome.
That we don't have walking around Krakoa Magneto with the freaking or Xavier with
Yeah,
the Cerebro on his head. I hate that.
I love the Krakoa error, but that's my least favorite part is Professor Xavier with Cerebro on his head 24/7.
Yeah.
It feels like I'm like reading Mandalorian. It's like, do you ever take that off?
and
Um,
and the fact that he has Cerebro on one of his heads
yeah,
is kind of
that's
fun, but I'm
really
probably
cool.
not gonna have it on there. I'm probably gonna have him just be bald Xavier.
Yeah, Xavier's another one too, and he comes with a leadership, right?
Yep. They did say he is going
That
to be a
is
new X-Men leader.
exciting because as we get more and more X-Men pieces, I think we're gonna start opening up, and I think we're already there. Other ways to play X-Men. I
Yep.
think everyone right now is playing X-Men the same way, the scenario-based way, and obviously that's really strong.
Yeah.
But if they open up another leadership and we're getting all these characters with different play patterns, I think X-Men are going to be maybe the best scenario team, but also could be the best at a lot of other ways to play the game.
Now, what do you think Xavier's going to do as like a power set?
I don't think he's going to be like a big damage dealer. I think you could see him being like the mind gem type of attack,
Hmm.
where he could display. He's going to be displacement, right? Like
Yeah,
potentially shutting things down.
I think he can straight up activate somebody. Just shut their brain off for a round.
I heard some other people throwing that type of idea around as well. And earlier in the podcast, I mentioned like negative play patterns. If you buy a brand new model, like, could you imagine spending $100 on a Weapon Xbox and then you go to put Sabretooth on the table and Xavier says no? I'd be so bad.
Well, maybe he has an attack then that gives stagger, but on like a Yahtzee, he just activates somebody like Ulik.
Yeah, I could see that. I think we all agree though he's going to be a really strong control piece. I mean,
Yes.
that's what makes the most sense.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. I want to see more. I'm a terrible person, so I love Thanos. I want to see obnoxious control pieces. Like I'm a Dawson player in Street Fighter,
Hmm.
Balrog. I like playing lane and like just not letting you play if I can do that.
Maybe he's just a wild 8-point freaking X-Men leader that just does Thanos level like mind space stone stuff.
I wouldn't, I mean, like I said, I wouldn't hate it. It'd be nice to see something completely different. I just don't know what the leadership could be that would make you not play Storm. But if he has a competitive leadership and is a really good model,
Hmm.
then I can see him taking some of Storm's play away because Storm's leadership is amazing and Storm as a character is good.
Poor
Like,
Cyclops.
yeah, no one talks about Cyclops. Cyclops as a character is not bad. Whereas Storm as a character, I think most people say she's okay. They're not in love with her.
Hmm.
Some people maybe do swear by her. But if Xavier is a really good character and a decent leadership, you might see some more X-Men who will affiliate within themselves
Yeah.
and see some Xavier put on the table instead of Storm.
Yeah, it could be a nice versatile strategy thing too.
I've never seen anyone play that card,
I tried it.
and I would love to. I bet you would try it.
I used to try it when Follow Me wasn't restricted.
I've thought about it because like I love Mystique turn one,
Hmm.
but then like Magneto is better every other turn after that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It just seems like taking up a tactics card's a lot. But that's a conversation for another time.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a crazy set of announcements. I think everyone walked away from this pretty happy.
You know what I was shocked that they didn't announce? Being that they were like very X-Men heavy?
What's that?
Phoenix.
Yeah, because there's only a few characters left from the league, right? It's like Phoenix, Shocker, and Vulture.
Phoenix, Shocker, Vulture, Isaiah Bradley, Patriot.
Oh, right. Yeah,
I think
that might
that
be
might be
why
it.
though, because most of these announcements are like supposed to be fairly far out,
Yeah.
like either fall or next year. So they're probably keeping what's coming soon close to the vest, and they'll. Because I mean, right? If they were to announce like the next set of models
Yeah.
for June now, um, I don't know, maybe it detracts from what they're showing down the line. I don't know.
Oh, plus mini extravaganza is always when they have the trailer for like the next big like wave. Like last year was Hydra Shield.
Yeah. When was that? Was that like July or August?
Well, it got delayed because they got COVID and they had to push it a few
Uh-huh.
weeks. But I want to say it was like June, July, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Okay. Because I want to say I bought the core set in July, and it came off the back of like all these major announcements.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, what? I started like Googling and finding podcasts and stuff, and everything was talking about Hydra and Shield and what was coming down the line for the next year, and I was like, oh, it seems like people are excited.
Damn, Violent Steve fell off.
I was thinking about him earlier today because I remember you playing him against me, and I deleted him, and you're like, oh, I hated this model and bought him, and I want to play with him, and Magneto said no.
Yeah.
But yeah, but at least his sculpt is amazing.
Yeah, that's true.
I would like to use that instead of the original.
I still like him. Like I still like using him. He's just like you don't see anybody using him because apparently he's not that good.
We also
But
have no shield players in our local meta. Like, just no.
I was the shield player for a while.
Yeah, and then you found a way more violent pack.
I did.
Fits your play style, which is having fun and rolling dice.
Yes, that's what as Art said yesterday. I'm the gambler. I just like to roll dice.
It's a tough. There's a, I would rolling dice with those characters is fun.
Yes. So
So
I was trying Black Swan out yesterday, and I like her. Power Swan.
power gem, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Power Gem Black Swan. But she isn't exactly what I'm looking for.
Ebony Maw, do it.
I literally, that's what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
I have Space Maw in my current run of the list.
Good.
Now, I want your input. Because essentially the list is more or less the same. I did make a couple of changes. As much as I like Winter Soldier in the list, I miss Deadpool. Just because I love Deadpool. So here's what my list looks like right now. I got Space Maw. Actually, is it Space Maw? I think it's Space Maw. Yeah, Space Maw. Logan, Sabretooth, Crimson Dynamo, Psylocke. So many fours and a six. X-23, Domino, Deadpool, Lockjaw, still hanging in there, and Honey Badger.
So, one, I love Space Ebony Maw in that lineup, especially with Shush.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can. I didn't realize this until Adepticon is that you can use Shush to shut down Malekith's crits
Yep.
or his Anchor Skulls. That seems like it could be useful.
Yep.
Plus, he has it online round one, which is awesome.
Yep. Because he gets 4 power with the
Yeah,
gem? Yeah.
exactly. And I'm a big fan of, or big believer, if you're playing Weapon X or Emma or anything where you're using a tactics card leadership, if you're down a tactics card at the start of the game, you might as well see if Space Gem or Reality Gem makes sense for your team, because you're not going to bring two restricted that often.
Yeah.
And think that having multiple restricted cards in a list like Weapon X is not as necessary. So if you're going to spend a restricted slot on something like Space Gem, I think Weapon X is a great place to do it.
Yes.
And you get access to a Mystic attack. You can have the long range throw.
Well, I do. That's the thing. I didn't realize he throws long. That's wild.
Oh yeah, just him and Magneto, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I do have Mystic Attacks with Psylocke, who has been doing such work in my list. She's so good. Crimson Dynamo is good. Like, I purposely was only using Swan in my builds last night because I wanted to test her out.
Yeah, of course.
And, like I said, she was okay. She murdered Mystique and somebody else in game 2 versus Rob because I hit like 2 everything dies back to back. But, I think Ebony Maw with his immune to collision, so as long as I have power, so I don't have to worry about brace for him. His defense, unless the attacker pays 2. His power generation, so he's self-sufficient. I don't have to worry about him.
Yep.
And he can throw size 4 long, which is stupid.
Should be able, and his spender is online round 1.
Yes.
So you could Space Gem up, and I think it's range 4.
Yep.
You could be throwing, I think it's 8 dice, and
Yep.
then he gets a throw off if there's size.
A wild. A size 2 or less.
Yeah, the size 2 or less is disappointing, especially because he can throw size 4 terrain, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the fact that he can get that so easily, I guess it's kind of fair and balanced. And you get a great tactics card in Shush, which I don't know if you have room for that.
Oh, no, it is. Because I took out a restricted card because I only have brace.
Yeah.
Now, the reason I have Space Gem,
Can I ask you, why
Yeah.
brace over, like, sacrifice?
I had Sacrifice in here. But there's so many Brotherhood players around and so many Hulks
Yep.
that brace makes more sense.
Fair enough. I've never been a huge... I actually don't run brace in almost any lineup. I'm one of those, like, crazy people.
Here's the thing. I do like Sacrifice, though, in this list. Like, I keep going back and forth between Sacrifice and Brace because it saved me so many times last night because Honey Badger just tank and attacks, and then when you think she's going to die, sacrifice it, Weapon X token, now somebody else is aggressiving up.
Yep. I saw this in the, like, Weapon X Discord. I saw Magic Nick say this once about how important sacrifice is to Weapon X.
Mm-hmm.
And then I myself, like, I've played a lot of Brotherhood. I just believe in general that if you're playing attrition, you want to always have sacrifice because you can force your opponent into at least one target that they didn't want to target
Yeah.
and possibly save the key activation.
Oh, Rob was getting so frustrated with Honey Badger last night.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Sacrifice. Like, I remember I was playing Nick once, and, you know, to waste a 7 threat Malekith waste one of his attacks by forcing it into a honey badger or someone else you're not as concerned about, I mean, that's really, really powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're tying up essentially two characters worth of an activation to target the wrong thing.
Yeah.
I mean, action economy is king in this game, and you're hurting someone else's action economy with that. I just think that sacrifice you'll get potentially more mileage out of than
Mm-hmm.
Grace. But
Now, the other thing is the reason I'm taking the space gem is so if I'm using Maw, I don't have to use Lockjaw and I can still teleport somebody. The question is it more valuable to teleport somebody up to or to move somebody off a point with the Mind Gem?
I so with Ebony Moss, you have two options.
Mm-hmm.
With Space Gem, you get to move him round one with the Space Gem, and then just get two attacks off.
Well, he still pays 1 to move with the space gem, right?
Yeah, he has to pay. What is it? Is
Yeah,
it one or is it two?
I think it's 1. Let me see. I'll tell you right now. Oh, it's 2.
Yeah.
No, it's
He's
1.
got
It's 1. I think.
okay.
Nope.
He's got the power.
It's 2. It's 2. Never mind.
Yeah, so he's got the power for it, but he gets to move himself up, and then he's got range for attacks that also get to push the target character potentially.
Mm-hmm.
So you're either do you want him to move up and make two attacks round one, or would you rather him, or like waste the move action to use the mind gem to bring someone either in for Logan or Psylocke or whoever to do damage, or move them off a point.
Yeah.
It's the Thanos question. Like,
Yeah.
do you want Mod to be punching things, or do you want him to move things?
Yeah, I think the
I
teleport's more valuable. The space gem.
Yeah, I mean, because like you said, you can move your characters and Ebony Maw. So I
Mm-hmm.
think round one you're probably always moving him, and then
Yeah.
the subsequent rounds you might be moving other characters.
Yeah.
Maybe moving a Honey Badger into the right spot to tank a next attack, or moving Honey Badger into position for her ankle biter. That
Mm-hmm.
sounds like it would be pretty good.
Yep. Lately I've been running Honey Badger right up the middle of the board, then moving somebody
Yeah.
behind her to combat deception. Because nobody wants the deception Honey Badger.
Yeah, I call that the conga line.
Yeah.
The characters moving up within two of each other.
Yep.
Um, I love to see it as a Brotherhood player.
Yeah.
Everyone else hates it, but I
Yeah.
love it.
All right. So
Uh,
then, oh, go
why
ahead. Yeah.
Dead- I
Why
was gonna ask
Deadpool?
yeah,
I like him. Like
I mean that's a fair reason.
the only change, if I were to make a change to Deadpool, the only change I would make is on the initial bang, 1 power.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot. I think
That's
that makes
it.
a lot of sense.
If you did that, perfect. Because he's 4 on the front, 6 on the back, so that's essentially 10 health. He gets rerolls. He can make people lose power. He can't be pushed by mystic attacks or enemy superpowers. Like, he's a good character. It's just he has terrible power generation because chances are you're keeping him in the back shooting.
Yeah, I played against him twice, and both times he was better than I thought he was going to be.
Like, here's what I'm thinking. Like, I took out. Oh, we'll get to my crises in a second, but I took out all my pay to flips. Okay, because my pay to flips have started betraying me. So
Okay.
got rid of them. Rather just stand there. So if I can move Deadpool to an infinity formula, and then spend the power and give him his chimichanga, so now he has healing factor 3.
So what are your secures then?
Okay, well yeah, let's jump ahead to that. So my secures are Gamma, Infinity Formula, and Riot Spark Extremis.
I think that's. I like riots. I don't know about Gamma. I'm not as big on that, but well, actually, you have Dynamo.
I do have Dynamo. That's why Gamma's there.
Dynamo, yeah, Dynamo is amazing. In those beats. It's
Yes,
so good.
and just
Okay.
just causing a ruckus in the middle and having Honey Badger sit on the middle point and just ankle bite everybody. So good.
I've been big on bringing at least one pay to flip in a lot of my teams to try to scare Criminal Syndicate players, to making sure that they are taking their secures.
Yeah, it's like somebody suggested scoundrels. I'm like, I'm not putting scoundrels in this list. That's
No,
crazy.
no, I have Deadly Meteors in some of my attrition lists. One because I like C shapes,
Mm-hmm.
especially with Weapon X, because then your guys are bouncing around. But I'm trying to make sure that if I'm playing against the King pin player, he's not getting secures and the extracts he wants.
I
Because
think I
my
think what you're saying is John has scared you.
oh, 100%, he's been scaring me. Like he's a big reason why I've been testing Thanos because
Hmm.
he's taking his extracts against me, so he's getting the secures he wants and the extracts. I don't like playing against anyone that's happy to see my all six of my crises.
Yeah.
I want you to look at my crises and say, okay, I don't want to play on that, so I'm gonna take my secures as expected. You know?
Okay, so because I do like Deadly Meteors, out of all of the flip secures, that's the one I like the most because yeah, okay, I'll take a damage when I flip it. Oh, I healed it, so I
Yeah.
don't mind it. If you,
C shapes are really good for Weapon X, are they not? Because
well, that's an
as
eye now. It changed. Remember,
oh,
it's like diagonal.
all right, fake C shape then is probably pretty good for you because you got if your lineup, you
Hmm.
bring Psylocke and you've got Logan and you've got a pretty mobile team.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that could be really good.
All right. So if I were to put that back in, what would you take out? Gamma
I think if you're bringing Dynamo, then Gamma is not a bad one. I think
because
your Gamma is probably not bad.
or Infinity Formula. It's Infinity Formula or Extremist. Those are the other two. So we got a
I
D
don't
shape or a
know.
B shape.
I don't know what Infinity Formula is doing for you, and then the B shape, you're fast, but you're not getting to their back B on turn one.
My thought with the B shape is to have two separate fights.
Yeah, I mean that's what's great about D.
No, B I'm talking about, not D.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that's what's great about D is that you split off like that. But the B,
So, all right. So then, if I take out Infinity Formula, I put in Deadly Meteors.
I mean that's what I'm a fan of that personally, but I'm not the one playing Weapon X.
Well, I've had Deadly Meteors in here for a while, so like I like Deadly Meteors. I'm fine with that. Now, my extracts, I think I have all perfect extracts for my team. The only difference now is I don't have Bill in my list, so I can't. I don't have a center grab for Cube because my extracts are Paranoia, Cubes, and Alien Ship.
My concern with cubes is that you're probably if you're getting your extracts, you're probably uh don't have priority.
Mm-hmm.
So your opponent is going to go up 3-2 unless you get a daze or have a way of taking it off.
Mm.
So without a Rhino or a Voodoo or something like that in your lineup, you have to make sure you get a daze round one
Mm-hmm.
to get one of those cubes back. But like in our local meta, we've got Rob who brings Angela. Art has his eyes on the private plays. So I feel like there's a lot of guys. I have Juggernaut with Mystique. There's a lot of ways that people are going to go up 3-2 and be relatively safe.
Yeah.
I don't know if that matters though.
No, it does because like I was playing against Skrulls last night, and like they would come over, steal my scroll, run away.
Really?
I'm like, that's rude.
Who did that to you? Brotherhood or
Art did that to me with Guardians.
really?
Yep,
Huh.
with Angela and Eyes on the Prize.
And that's the kind of thing that I think about every time with extracts is if I'm getting my extracts, what does it look like when I don't have priority?
Yeah.
Like I
So,
have game plans for all of that, and that's why I like. But now you have me worried about scrolls.
like I had scrolls in this for a little while, and like it was fine because nobody was doing that. Now people are
Yeah,
doing that. I'm like, damn it.
yeah, those are things you have to worry about. I mean, cubes might be you still might be okay with that because you expect to go down early
Mm-hmm.
playing attrition. So if you can get a daze in round two and get one of those cubes back, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, because the other options is hammers, which I mean, I don't mind having a hammer on my guys. Um, Absolutely not Mentesi because my people don't like mental attacks.
Yeah,
And
I don't. But does anyone actually use the Montesi beam when they have it?
I have. It used to be better when you can explode
Yes.
crits.
I don't mind Montesi because it's low scoring, and that's going to favor your team.
The only time I use the beam is if I'm shooting into like a 23 or a Logan or somebody with low mystic. Otherwise, I'm just holding it.
Here's why Montesi might not be that bad. One, it's low scoring, but two, if you're bringing uh, Space Gem Ma, depending on your opponent, he portals up, does his range 4 builder twice, and potentially moves the character that got the center E towards your team for violence.
Is Maul on a large or a medium base, or a small or medium base?
He's on a small base.
If
So
you
if you're,
space gem up and
yeah,
medium move, can you grab the center book?
yeah, sure you can. You're saying spaceship then move? Yeah.
Yeah, space gem up two, then move medium. You should be able to grab a book and move back.
I'm like 90% sure.
All right, I'll measure that out later.
If not, you do have eyes, but like I said, it's always great to have a plan when you have priority. That it's great when that works out, but what happens when you don't? And
Yeah,
I think Space Jam Mom might not be bad when you don't have priority there, because
true.
they're not going to go up a ton on you. What's a 2-1 lead is not huge,
Mm-hmm.
and then he has like a somewhat reliable push because it's 6 dice and
True.
range 4. So maybe that's not bad. It might be worth testing.
So maybe because it's only three instead of five, get rid of cubes and put in Montesi.
I like that.
And then just if I'm getting attacked with Mystic, I just boost it with my Weapon X stuff anyway.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they're not going to fire off. They're not going to fire off a ton of Mystic against you. They'll do it to what, Logan?
And
So if
23 and
anything,
Badger.
if you're at 18, you bring Logan, Space Mall, that's 10. Then you've got two threes and a two, or two fours. I mean, that's not a bad place to be in.
Yeah,
I guess you can't do two fours because you wouldn't be affiliated. Because you don't have Apex in your item, do you?
of course I do.
Okay, so you could do
So I could do Maul Logan, that's 10. What were we saying? 17 or 18?
Montesi's 18.
Alright,
So
so Maul Logan, Sabretooth, that would be 14.
yeah, and then you've got four more.
Oh,
So
yeah, so I wouldn't be able to do that.
you'd have to do like
I could do 23. Alright, so if we do this and then 18, so 332. I could do like 23 if I needed to, or Domino Deadpool Badger.
I mean, that's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Like you said, you run Gabby up the middle for Ankle Biter,
Mm-hmm.
Space Mod potentially bring target in, and then Logan does cleanup. That's not bad. Domino goes and gets whatever other objective or holds a point somewhere else.
Yeah. Okay.
We,
That's not bad.
we could test that out on Tuesday. Lots, I've got lots of shady things to go steal that middle objective and bring back. If you can get the middle Montesi off of my Juggernaut somewhat reliably, then you know you're ready for most other characters.
True. And then my tactics cards, real quick. We have, are you sure you want to remember? Dossier, Call the Pack, Gotta Get Some Air, Crimson Dawn, Shush, Chimichangas, Exceptional Healing, Recalibration Matrix, and Sacrifice, because I changed it from Brace. But I think Sacrifice is better in that spot.
Yes, I agree. I feel like. Did you say gotta get some air?
Yeah.
Okay, making sure that was in there.
That saved my ass a couple times yesterday because Art moved Angelo towards Logan, and then I used Gotta Get Some Air, and I put him just out of range.
Oh, it's a really good card. I mean,
Yeah.
out of action movement. I mean, that's never bad.
Yeah.
That's really really useful. And you can set it up on your own turns. It doesn't have to be your opponent doing something. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's great. Absolutely.
Yep.
I look forward to playing some games against this team next week and seeing how strong it is.
Yeah, me too. Because I
Love
think
Big Mom.
yeah, I think I've never used them. Like I said, I just got them the other day, and I
Take out,
think
did you take out Eyes on the Prize?
I did.
'Cause
Now,
now you have Maw that could do it, but
yeah,
Maw's not as good as Bill because he doesn't have the medium base. But you could Space Gem up,
yeah.
medium, then be within Eyes range, and then move back.
That I was thinking about that before when we were just talking. But like, if
Yeah.
that was the case, I'm taking out, I guess, Recalibration Matrix
Or I mean, how often?
or Chimichangas. I could put out Chimichangas.
How often are you actually using Call of the Pack?
I haven't, and I actually want to start messing around with that card. Like, it's always there because I'm like, oh, I'm going to bring it this time, and then I don't.
I played like 10 games with Weapon X with a list that wasn't that different than yours, and I tried to play that card and I didn't find a lot of opportunities.
So maybe get rid of Call the Pack and put in Eyes.
Yeah, I mean, Eyes on the Prize is never bad. I think that you have to have a game plan.
Well, Maul is my game plan.
Yeah, no, I'm saying you. I
Yeah.
think there's crises where you need the game plan of how to get something safely, because otherwise you're gonna get deception. I'm going to do the deceptioning.
Listen,
So,
when
so
I,
what's your game
and
plan for
because of
that?
you, whenever I see Mystique, I kill her first. Like I was so laser focused on Rob's Mystique yesterday that like I lost the game because I was so focused on killing her because I hate her.
After she does deception though, she just doesn't scare me.
I know.
After that,
She actually didn't get to do the deception, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna kill her.
I love that too. I love when my opponent is so focused on creating the conga line that they don't do what they wanted to do,
Yeah,
and then deception did what it want. It did exactly what I needed it to do.
exactly.
Disrupted your plans.
Yeah.
I'll just use it later in the game. It's fine.
So yeah, I think this might be what I try out on Tuesday.
All right. Well, I'll be there next week.
Nice.
And, we can get a game in. We'll test that out.
All right, so oh wow, we're gone almost like an hour 45 here, so we should
Yeah.
probably wrap this up.
Yeah, we can
All
wrap it up.
right, so what do we got? So our date we changed for our LVO qualifier. So if you are in the area, Red Steel Games, we try to do tournaments every month. We're not doing one in April just because the date moved because there was a conflict of scheduling. So we have that. This will be up on YouTube in a day or two, so that doesn't matter. We have our new releases coming out soon. Hulk and MODOK, which I kind of want to try Hulk in my list just at least once to try him out because I feel like Hulk, Sabretooth, and Logan on Gamma is going to be gross at 15.
I'm probably gonna pick up MODOK.
Yeah,
Personally.
I'm going to pick up both. I got a gift card for my birthday, so I'm probably going to get both.
Nice.
But yeah, be sure to like us, subscribe, comment, let us know what you think. Hopefully, we'll be seeing some of you at ACO because I know I'm looking forward to meeting some people. But yeah, I'm Will,
I'm Mike.
and we'll see you next time.